And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
Thank you, Jeremy C. We're coming at you from the Billy C. Boxing studio. Yeah, the Billy C. studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for BillyCBoxing.com's Professional Boxing's Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down for today, July 16th in the year 2012. I got a few thumbs up and a few thumbs down, so here we go. First, thumbs up to the 6-1 underdog Danny Garcia for beating Amir Khan on Saturday night. Danny stuck to his game plan. He overcame two serious cuts to stop Amir Khan in a very entertaining fight. In my opinion, Danny Garcia is on top of the junior welterweight division. I was saying earlier in my Talking Boxing with Billy C show, if you want to look at a blueprint for how to get a fighter to become a world champion and then have them stay there and become a legitimate world champion, look at Danny Garcia. They progressively moved this kid one fight at a time, increased his level of opposition, and he is a better fighter for it. We saw it on Saturday night, and we're going to continue to see it. Fighters like Deontay Wilder and Demetrius Andrade who get coddled and hand-picked opponents that they just destroy. Look at Fernando Guerrero, same way. They end up not being as good, truly as good, as a guy like Danny Garcia who got moved up the way he did. Thumbs up to Danny Garcia, and thumbs up to Team Garcia for moving him the right way. Thumbs up. Did a crow feather just spit out? Did I just spit out a crow feather? But yes, you were about to hear it. Get ready. Thumbs up to David Haye. That's right, beating Derek Chisora in a heavyweight showdown on Saturday night. Hey, man, listen, I've been very critical of David Haye. The reason why I've been critical is because David Haye is a big mouth. He shoots off his mouth, and he never backs up what he says. However, on Saturday night, he did. He fought Derek Chisora the way he says he's going to fight everybody else. He fought toe-to-toe. He delivered his jab. He fought smart. He didn't back away even when he was rocked, and he ended up winning a fight that was exciting. My hang-up with David Haye was never about his ability. It was about his mouth and the fact that he said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and he did none of that. He did it on Saturday night, and therefore I give him a thumbs up for beating Derek Chisora. I personally do not think he's going to fight Vitaly Klitschko. I think Vitaly Klitschko is going to win his election in the fall, and he's going to retire from boxing after the Manuel Charr fight, unless something mysteriously happens to the Charr fight. I'm looking for David Haye to actually get a rematch with Vladimir Klitschko, so keep that in mind. And finally, my last thumbs up goes to a true boxing guy. There's no question about it. And if more boxers followed the professional attitude that Glen Johnson did, listen, I'm not giving him a thumbs up for losing on Friday Night Fights. He fought his best. I'm giving him a thumbs up for what he gave us. He announced his retirement after that fight. He knew damn well that his career was over. He aged in front of us slowly but surely, but on Friday night, came to the peak. Glen Johnson's career is over. He needs to be remembered as one of the greatest fighters ever. This was a guy that is a good example inside the ring and outside the ring. I hope that more fighters would have followed that mentality, the mentality of Glen Johnson. If it were the case that more fighters were like Glen Johnson, boxing would be like it was in its heyday right now. Thumbs up goes to Glen Johnson for giving us a great career. I wish you, Glen Johnson, all the luck in the world for whatever you decide to do now in your post-pro boxing career. Hopefully you'll get into training, because if you could share some of that knowledge and some of the technique that you've learned over the years with some of our young fighters, that would help us immensely. One of my big knocks on trainers today is that they're rah-rah men and they're not true teachers, and you, Glen Johnson, would be a great true teacher. So thumbs up to Glen Johnson for giving us everything he had every time he fought for a very lengthy career. Thumbs down goes to anyone who supported the Mundine McCard fight in any way. You know, Alex Papali thought and said on this show, on the Talking Boxing with Billy C show, that James Kirkland acted in bad taste when he came into the ring wrapped in an American flag when he fought Nobuhiro Ishida following the disaster in Japan. As a result, he was blasted by listeners who spoke out about American pride, and they got upset with Alex for saying that. They missed Alex's point that day, but I hope none of you guys that emailed and was critical of Alex Papali's statement about James Kirkland went or purchased or even watched that fight with Mundine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I asked everybody to boycott that fight. Mundine bashed America right after the 9/11 disasters, and over a decade later, he has the balls to come back to this country to try to make a ton of money. Whoever went or was any part of that fight, shame on you. That's all I can say. And if you don't believe me, this word of boycotting got out. Email Tony Treem and find out what he experienced at a luncheon. Now, he boycotted the fight, too. We had him credentialed to go to that fight, and he pulled the plug, okay? Email Tony at TalkinBoxing, TalkinBoxing, and let him tell you what he experienced. Thumbs down goes to Jim Lampley, man. HBO's Jim Lampley, come on, man. He's done. He's done. He absolutely brings nothing to the HBO broadcast anymore. As a matter of fact, I believe he's making them worse. It's time for the powers that be at HBO to make a decision, and we got to cut Jim Lampley loose. He's had a great run. He was fantastic in the beginning. It's over. The guy brings nothing. You have Max Kellerman, you got Bob Papa, and Manny Stewart. Keep those three. Get rid of Jim Lampley. Get rid of Larry Merchant. It's time. It's nauseating to have to listen to his comments. Generally they have nothing to do with what's going on with the fight. As a matter of fact, he prematurely said that Mamir Khan was done long before he was done. As it turned out, maybe he pats himself on the back because Amir Khan was indeed done, but not when he said he was. The guy, it's over. And speaking of commentators, listen, man, Teddy Atlas is a good guy. He's knowledgeable about the sport. I'm not going to knock him for that. But I have one question to ask you guys, and this is why I'm giving a thumbs down to both Jim Lampley and Teddy Atlas and ESPN. Does he ever shut up? Does he ever shut up during the ESPN broadcast? As a result of some of the things that he has said and done, and his scorecards, they give him a crayon and a coloring book for his scorecard. I stopped listening to ESPN. I've been watching the ESPN with the mute button on because I can't stand listening to him and his crony. All right, I can't stand it. But this past Friday, I left the sound on because of Glen Johnson. I wanted to hear what they were saying about Glen Johnson. Teddy Atlas never shut up. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate and I actually enjoy his accolades and his comparisons and stuff like that. But you know what? Every second of every round, I mean, am I the only one? Do you guys really enjoy him? I mean, what do we want from a commentator? Aren't they supposed to? Isn't the blow-by-blow guy supposed to be calling the action in front of him, and then the color commentator just remark on a statement that the blow-by-blow guy says? Aren't we supposed to watch the show and actually watch the fight and make our own opinions? Why does this guy feel that he has to fill up every second of airtime with his accolades and comparisons and everything else? I think it's too much, man. Thumbs down to ESPN and Teddy Atlas. Hey, man, that does it for Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Ciao, baby.